Welcome to another episode of the Market Makers in Middle East and Africa podcast. I am your host Abrar Hussain. Today I speak to Shaikha AlMazrouei, Vice President at Mubadala. Shaikha, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Abrar, for having me. It's my privilege to be here at this episode of the Market Makers.
Yeah, thank you. Really, appreciate you coming. And Shaikha, you are a accomplished business leader and I'll say a prominent Emirati woman leader working as a vice president at Mubadala. Tell us about your story.
So basically, I started my career in Mubadala back in 2011 as an analyst. Over the years, I have the privilege to grow my career into the organization, and currently I serve as a vice president within the UAE Clusters unit under the UAE Investments platform. In terms of my educational background, I have background in engineering systems and management, and currently I'm pursuing my global executive MBA at INSEAD. In terms of Mubadala, a lot of people know Mubadala as Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund. And part of my day-to-day job is that we manage a portfolio of assets or subsidiaries owned by Mubadala across various sectors. Some of them are in healthcare, in technology, and in aerospace. We don't only provide capital to grow those companies, but also we make sure that we develop industries that is crucial to the UAE economic development, which we call those companies or subsidiaries as the national champions.
Thank you very much, Shaikha, for giving your introduction. Mubadala is very well known and is known as UAE's sovereign wealth fund and a very successful one. What is the core mission and vision of Mubadala, both from global context and for UAE context?
So Mubadala was established back in 2002, reflecting the vision from the UAE founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, who recognized the importance for his nation to diversify away from hydrocarbon to ensure a free and stable life for the people of his country. So this wisdom led to the creation of governmental policies and procedures intend to diversify and develop the economy of Abu Dhabi. And this is where Mubadala's story began. So we focus on developing and diversifying the economy of Abu Dhabi away from hydrocarbon by investing in traditional and non-traditional sectors. So we have been investing across multiple sectors, including, for example, healthcare, aerospace, digital infrastructure, and other sort of industries. Our main objective is to create long-term financial returns to our shareholder, the government of Abu Dhabi. And if we speak about in the context of the UAE, we also have the objective to develop those industries in the country to create jobs and develop the future generation of Emiratis talented people.
Yeah, perfect. Now, you mentioned very interesting thing in your first answer that Mubadala not only provides capital but provides a support to the assets when you acquire them. Can you talk about how you do that? For example, in across the globe or in UAE, when you acquire a company, first is what you look for, in those companies that you acquire, and then after acquiring or making an investment, how do you support them?
Absolutely. So, Mubadala is not only providing capital to those assets, we make sure that we select the future focused sort of sectors, including, for example, life sciences, energy transition, aerospace, and technology that is vital for the development of the economy, as well as creating sustainable financial returns to the government. Basically, we have successfully created so many industries and developed national champions. So, for example, we have Yasat, our satellite communication company. Yasat is investing in technology and the right talents and contribute to the UAE strategic vision to develop the space strategy by 2030. Another good example is Sanad, is our in aerospace field. We have Sanad, our champion, focusing on maintenance, repair, and overall, not only for aircraft engines but also for industrial services. There are multiple of examples that I can share throughout the episode today.
Perfect. So this is for the UAE, Sheikha, where you're looking at technology, future development of the country, of the people. What about your international investments? What kind of companies you invest in, and how you help them grow?
When it comes to Mubadala, we basically reflecting two main values that or the theme that is defining Mubadala. First is responsible long-term investor, where we invest in sectors and create positive impacts in the geographies that we operate in. Another thing is building a strong and strategic partnership with top industry leaders, being, for example, Boeing and Airbus into the aerospace, Cleveland in the healthcare, as well as Borealis in the downstream oil and gas. So when it comes to investment, we choose the right partner that we want to work with, and of course, creating the right investments that we believe that will generate good returns that comes or aligns with the Mubadala overall strategy.
Perfect. Now, Sheikha, you mentioned about some of the UAE champions that you have created. Sanad is one, Yasat is another. Is there, how many kind of companies you have invested in UAE, and what are the strategy for the UAE investment platform?
So, if we focus on the UAE Investments platform, the main theme is basically, as I mentioned, is to develop the economy of Abu Dhabi. So we don't only focus on the mature sort of industries, but also we look into a new future focus. Another good example into the life sciences, Mubadala has a partnership with the US-based National Resilience, and especially after COVID-19, the life sciences become a very trendy and very important sector that Mubadala and other investors are looking into. So we developed that partnership with Resilience to build a biopharma manufacturing facility in Abu Dhabi, and that of course comes perfectly aligned with the Mubadala strategy to diversify the economy as well as to secure and the supply chain and make sure that we have the right resources, which is one of the lessons learned that we learned after COVID-19.
Sheikha, what we have seen from PE firms, private equity firms, and the investor, one of the main driver is generating financial returns. Whereas you mentioned that Mubadala's mission and vision is to generate financial returns at the same time, help develop the economy of UAE and Abu Dhabi. How you maintain that balance of generating financial return while at the same time contributing to the economy of Abu Dhabi?
Um, as you rightly mentioned, so basically, Mubadala has invested last year around $30 billion into major sectors, including life sciences, renewable energy, and digital infrastructure. If we look into the UAE non-oil trade, in the first half of this year, actually, it reached $340 billion. And this is basically where we see that Mubadala is contributing directly into the economy by diversifying away and not only focusing on the oil trade.
Okay. You mentioned that Mubadala invested $30 billion last year. How much is the asset under management, and if you can share some statistics?
So, as of 2022, Mubadala has reached a total assets under management of around $300 billion across multiple sectors, including the assets in the UAE and also internationally.
Okay. This is quite significant. The other thing is, Sheikha, we see that there is a lot of changes in technology, in the new trends, as you mentioned, life sciences, healthcare, and the investment climate is changing as well. How does Mubadala stays at forefront, identifying those champions in UAE or globally, which can be resilient, which can provide sustainable financial returns?
Over the past 2 decades, Mubadala has continuously investing into sectors navigating through the macroeconomic challenges, the geopolitical challenges, and this is what actually makes Mubadala one of the strongest sovereign wealth fund globally. Last year, for example, Mubadala has outperformed the benchmark, given all the although that there were a lot of macroeconomic challenges. And this is what the Mubadala is continuously proven their position to invest in long-term, have a long-term investments with a sustainable returns.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Sheikha, for that. Now, sustainability is a big focus, which is at all the board levels. Investors are looking to invest in companies which are sustainable. How is sustainability important for Mubadala, and what Mubadala is doing in this space?
Actually, sustainability is one of the aspects that Mubadala is very much focused on. Actually, we have a unit that is looking over a responsible investor and building that network of opportunities where we make sure that we have a positive impact on the communities that we operate in. If we look to one of the our assets, Masdar, our renewable energy company, actually, Mubadala has invested in the company where renewables as industry was fresh, was new, and it was not very trendy where investors looking into renewable energy investments. So Masdar now brings together three of the main shareholders, including Mubadala, Taqa, and ADNOC, and creating a powerhouse of a company that delivering sustainable renewable energy resources and applications not only in the UAE and also globally. Masdar now have a vision to reach a capacity of 100 gigawatt of clean energy, deploying it worldwide. And this is what actually one of the major or one of the main assets that we are very proud of. Another good example is the Emirates Global Aluminum (EGA). They actually had the one of the first initiatives in the world where they produce aluminum commercially based on solar energy.
Now, Sheikha, shifting our focus to women empowerment, especially in UAE, how has the landscape changed for Emirati women in the last decade, and how do you see it now and going forward?
Women empowerment has been always the heart of the UAE government strategy, and we always get the support from our leadership and also through the policies that the government came up with. This is all reflecting the vision of our founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Today, the Emirati women, their efforts is not only focusing on or progressing from the social aspects, but also from the career progression, from the holding like senior positions into the government. So if we look into, for example, Her Excellency Reem Al Hashmi, the Minister of State for International Cooperation, we have all seen her true testament and skill and her skills in managing Expo 2020, one of the major events that the UAE is very proud of hosting. Another example is Her Excellency Shaikha AlMazrouei, and as well managing the COP28, the youth initiative. She's basically empowering the Emirati youth to think about sustainability, to empower the new generation and understand what are the challenges that the current globe is facing in terms of sustainable energy. I personally also proud that I got all the support from the government, from our leadership in terms of my education and career progression. And this is one of the things that I'm truly proud of. And I always mention that. And when I'm mentoring like other Emirati women, that we are very privileged and honored to be born and raised into this country.
How does Mubadala as a major organization support professional growth and development of women leaders?
At Mubadala, we have a number of initiatives to support women in career progression and also to give them the opportunity to grow and to shine. For example, if we look into EGA, Emirates Global Aluminum, 471 are women working into the organization, where 160 women are working into the operation. Strata is our manufacturing champion. 90% of workforce working on the shop floor are actually women. In Mubadala in 2015, the company established a women empowerment initiative where they provide opportunities for women retention, for them to grow in their career, to build the opportunities and the right trainings program for them. So these are all like initiatives that shows how Mubadala at a corporate level and also the subsidiaries are playing in empowering women into the workforce.
Ah, perfect. The other thing, Sheikha, when you grew in your career, you might have faced some challenges, and how did you overcome them, and how you became successful, and what advice will you give to other people to overcome the challenges?
In contrast, I wouldn't say that I had like a major challenge. I was privileged to be supported on a personal level from my family, as well as the leadership in my organization. So I have been my whole career progression had been in one organization. During that time, I got opportunity to work on different projects, different sectors, grow into my career. This is something that I'm really proud of, and for my advice for the new generation, the education is key. It's really important that you improve your skills, your abilities. Don't shy away if you face any challenges. Being flexible and resilient will be something that help you to overcome these challenges. I also advocate for Emirati women contribution into the workforce, and through my mentorship to my colleagues and to my friends, this is something that I always support them to go beyond their comfort zone, to explore new opportunities, and also building a network of diversified personalities and diversified experience, so they can grow more and more in their career.
Shiga, again, great to have you and a great discussion. My last question, tell me about one investment where you are really proud of, where you were involved, and which has made significant contribution to the economy and to the development of people.
One example I would think of is Strata manufacturing facility. So Strata came as a partnership with Boeing and Airbus. Currently, Strata is a tier 1 supplier to original equipment manufacturer. And if you are flying on Etihad aircraft, a high chance that is part of the wing or the tail is actually manufactured into the UAE. Strata is a role model in empowering Emirati females, If you go into the facility in Al Ain, you will see 90% of people working on the shop floors are actually Emirati female. And this is something that we are very proud of. This is contributing directly to the creating jobs for the future talented Emiratis, and also contributing directly into the GDP of the country.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sheikha, for coming. It's really a pleasure to have talk to you and know about Mubadala, know about the development of Abu Dhabi and the companies which are making a very good impact in UAE and across the world. And thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Abrar, for this opportunity, and I hope this give you an overview about Mubadala, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.